Yeah, I think self-care is so important. So one of the things,
Self-care.
yeah, self-care is a huge thing. And for me, Chiro has always been a big thing. Like I've realized I've been doing it for 10 years now. I've had the same Chiro, originally my boss when I worked there. And then since then I've been going every fortnight or every 3 weeks. More recently, last year was acupuncture. I was going every single week, and it was amazing. I was like, I don't want to get sick. I cannot get sick because then I can't teach my classes and blah, blah, blah. But I really wanted, I'm like, I use my body now so much more. I need to look after it a lot
Yeah.
more than I was then. And then I had a break about like maybe 3 or 4 months of no acupuncture. I was going from like every single week, and then over the Christmas period it stopped, and then I came back and I was in so much pain. I was like, my jaw hurts, like I can't sleep. Went back to acupuncture and it was just amazing, and I fell asleep again. So finding things that that really resonate with you in terms of self-care. But speaking of Reiki,
Talk about self-care.
yeah.
I like to, yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Let's go. So we did a Reiki session
Yeah.
together. I don't even know what Reiki is.
And I was like, oh my God, here's the question. What is Reiki? I was like, yeah, prepare yourself, Nica.
No.
What is it? I
Well-
can't even explain it.
Well, okay. What
It's
do you mean?
so
I'm
challenging
sure
to
it's
explain.
challenging.
So I can like give you like the textbook version.
You don't have to. I mean, we did the Reiki sesh together.
Yeah.
That was my first ever Reiki sesh. You
Yeah.
sold it to me by telling me that my favorite athlete has it on
Yeah,
his shoe.
I was like, whose shoe
I was
is
like,
this?
all right, Novak Djokovic
Yep,
does
yep.
this.
It has the chocolate
I'll
on
try it. Yeah. Yeah.
So Reiki, just I guess as a blanket statement, it's an energy, it's a deep relaxation technique or energy healing. When we say healing, we're not talking about healing a broken arm that got severed. Like that's not what's happening here. It's
Yeah.
like you're healing the energy, you're moving energy in that sense. So it's quite young. It's 100 years old. Founded in Japan by Mikao Usui. I fell into it. I didn't mean to do my Reiki training. But it was really interesting because at the start of last year, I said to my best friend, who's very spiritual, I said, I feel like I'm going through some sort of spiritual awakening or something like that. I feel like something next level is coming for me, but I don't know what it is. It turned out to be Reiki because it's just one thing that I fell into. So maybe you can share your experience of what Reiki was like.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I've done a little bit of yoga as well,
Mm-hmm.
and I kick myself every time I chat about this because at ZAR, our classes clash. So
Oh, yeah.
you're teaching yoga to our community at the same time as I am downstairs. So I otherwise I would be, this is the world's worst excuse, but I would be joining in heaps more classes.
Yeah, that's okay.
Anyway.
I teach elsewhere at other times.
Okay.
You know.
See what I mean? Terrible excuse. But in the past when I have practiced yoga like consistently, I felt great.
Yeah.
At the time, I was still training a lot, lots of strength training. I was running, I was cycling, and it was like physically next level for me because I felt a lot more flexible.
Yeah.
I used to practice it Friday morning before the weekend, and
Yeah.
I'd go into the weekend with like this really recharged mindset, like
Yeah.
physically and mentally. I was like, I was ready. So,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I used to do it at like 6 a.m. on a Friday. I was like,
That's so good. Great way to start the weekend.
anyway, so other than this little bit of yoga here and there, I haven't done much. And then I thought, we've got the podcast coming up.
Yeah.
What a good opportunity to go try it with you and then figure out what it is.
Yeah. So Reiki is like it's a different modality from yoga, but it's you can fuse it with yoga. So you could do you can do it on its own. So it's technically not within the philosophy of yoga, but it's a complementary modality within that. So like Reiki, if you ever looked at someone having Reiki, it's literally like someone's laying down on their back and the practitioner's drawing symbols on their body. It sounds so crazy, and it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna draw some symbols in the air and be like, woo, and like now you're gonna feel amazing. But how does it work? Because nothing's happening. You hardly touch me. So what is this?
Yeah.
It's the best way that I can explain it. It's like energy is real. Like we're all made out of energy, and you can feel when someone walks into the room, whether they're like great energy, they just light up the room, or someone's near you and you're like, not my kind of person.
Okay.
So you can feel that intuition and that energy from a person. But in terms of Reiki, the best way I can explain it is, when you feel sad and someone puts their hand on your shoulder, they say, "Are you okay?" And that's just, even if they don't say anything, that touch is comforting in itself. So imagine that, but amplified and focus on specific areas of the body or specific like chakras. We use like the 7 main ones, but there are chakras all over the body. Or like in your case, I was drawn to certain areas of your body that I didn't necessarily know why until we spoke about it afterwards. But for me, physically, I could feel maybe a little bit more heat coming off your body or a bit more tingling. But as a practitioner, and it changes for everyone, but really trusting where you're going to go. It's like, okay, you've done your symbols, you've done like your hand positions where you generally go. And then if you're drawn to the shoulder, go to the shoulder and just observe and just feel what's happening here. So, yeah.
That part was like one of my favorite bits about the Reiki practice that you and I did.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you anything about areas of my body that are feeling injured or are more sensitive than others in terms of pain. So my left shoulder has been giving me a little bit of drama, nothing major, but it's been annoying and letting me know, it's giving me feedback that it's hurting.
Yeah.
The left side of my lower back and my right knee.
Yes.
And I think it was about halfway through the Reiki session, like you say, you were on like my knee. And I remember thinking, I was like, what is going on? Like, this is exactly where my right knee, left side of my lower back, and my left shoulder. And the fascinating thing for me was, like, you didn't touch my right shoulder. It was just the left. I'm like, I think Nick has figured something out. And then, like, you didn't touch the right side of my lower back. It was the left side of my lower back, which is the area that's been hurting. And my ACL football injury was my right knee. Again, you didn't touch my left knee. It was like on the right. I was like,
it was really
mind blown.
interesting. So like the knees, like I had, it was a lot stronger. So I knew you had a knee injury. I just didn't know which knee. But then I could physically feel it. I was drawn to this side of the body. So when I start, I just do like, if you ever see me upstairs, like with a client, and I'm just like hovering over them, it's because I'm like, it looks so strange. People are like, what is she doing? Like, I'm feeling the energy, because you can feel different parts where it's like warmer or cooler, or like you're just like, oh, I need to go back there for some reason. So when I was doing that on your legs, I could feel it. I was like, okay, knee. I was like, I feel really drawn to the knee. I'm like, I just have to keep going back there. And then I was like, oh yeah, is it this knee or is it that knee? So I would just like go from one knee to the other knee. Your right knee felt a lot warmer, more tingling, and there was less energy coming out of the left knee. But the interesting part about the shoulder and the lower back was I was just drawn to those areas and not drawn to the other shoulder. So I won't go there. I'll just go here. But I didn't know. But the knees, I specifically was like, okay, is it this one or is it this one?
Okay.
But the shoulder and the lower back, I just wasn't drawn to the other parts. But I knew I had to go here, but I didn't necessarily know why.
Yeah.
And sometimes you do at the end, or we check all the chakra, the energy centers, like to see which ones are open and which ones are closed. And it's really interesting because sometimes like an energy center, say the solar plexus, which is all about like your drive, your passion, like your drive, serving others. So if you're in a position where you're constantly working for others or serving others, but you're not taking time to fill your cup, there could be an imbalance of your energy center. But I don't necessarily have to focus on this area to figure out what is missing or what's causing this to be a little bit out of balance. Like sometimes it's in your knees or in your ankles. But yeah, so it's in different parts of the body that will reveal a little bit more.
Real fascinating stuff. Like that, there was so many cool things about it. That was the big one.